What's up, guys? Last episode, we got a world first solo clear. But today, I wanted to go back and look at the speedrun composition we ran and explain why it worked. So, with that out the way, we're going to start off with Charufe. And as you may tell, I did make a new file. This is just a lot easier so I could get this composition so I could get it to work. So normally in the speedrun right now, you would get Wolpentinger, and we're hoping to see the Knight. Oh, there he is. Or the Cook. The Knight, we're looking for any Aether regeneration on the item. So right here, this Scepter has a 33% chance to give us an Aether, which is okay. Ideally, we would have just taken an Orb and put it on Wolpentinger. But, just to have this run go through, the Scepter's fine. But yeah, you're ideally looking for an Orb. That is probably the best item. The Lance is really good as it allows you to have wild damage. And on Wolpentinger, when you do its bubble trick, the first part counts as wild damage and the second part. So you're breaking any Aether, or Poise, sorry, twice. Okay, unfortunately we did not get a water. Normally this would be an ideal encounter because you would bubble trick the Tazzleworm, have it break its poise, capture it, and then you would kill it the following turn. Do keep in mind, this is on Heroic as well, so the enemies have more HP than they normally do, and will have more poise as well. Alright, so we're hoping to get a crit here to kill. Oh, no, okay. Well, we have lethal, so we'll just kill both of them. The ideal order should have been grapple, and then it would have went down to Wolpentinger by default, and then wind kick. This is obviously just speedrun tactics to save, like, seconds, but since we're just casually doing this, it's okay. Since Cockatrice has 3 poise and an ignite just kills it, there's no point of lowering its poise. But oh wow, we got pretty lucky there on the generation, and we got a crit. It's pretty lucky to get 2 wind and then to crit there. That's crazy. Dang. Alright, this one we're gonna have to get lucky again and get a crit to kill this. Otherwise we're gonna get hit pretty hard. Oh! Oh my goodness! Wow, this was a lucky run. Oh yeah, you also ideally would like to finish both. Oh! Wait a sec. Sleight of Hands is really good. And Helping Hands. So Sleight of Hands is the third best option. We were looking for Shock or Critical Hybridization? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And for Wolpentinger, it's just there to support. So either Hunt would have been good, side crits. The Wind one, it's okay. I don't think we'll see value from it until a little later. And Jotun's here because we completed this file. Otherwise, we would have went right into Tazzleworm because you would have captured it from the first zone. But that is unfortunate. Alright, do we get a good item here? Oh, Lance? What is default? Yeah, we'll go with the banner here. Alright, so like I was saying, ideally you would like to finish the first zone that we just came from in 2 rounds on each of them. My fastest time doing that was 2 minutes and 1 second, which I believe was the fastest out of everyone that competed. It was pretty cool to get a super fast run like that. I was mapping out like all the encounters you could get and what was the best actions. Obviously, you had to get a little lucky with crits to get them to go through, but yeah. So now we have Sleight of Hands. Every time we crit with Charufe, we'll do 2 more damage, and our third hit will always be a crit. So that means Ignite is always critting on the third hit, minimum. And when we get the God AoE Lightning Chaos, every second hit of the AoE will be critical on the enemies. Wolpentinger will benefit a little because that's 2 wind that we'll be using. So every other Lightning Chaos will be getting a free sidekick. As for Tazzleworm that we just picked up, we're ideally looking for a basic attack build. Tazzleworm's here just to provide Aether and keep spamming basic attacks. I know it seems a little weird because you're trying to optimize your actions, but Tazzleworm, out of the 3 creatures that we're using, is the best suited for that. 1, because it gets polluted Aether, which is insane. You know what? We'll actually take this belt here. But yeah, Tazzleworm's just great because polluted Aether is an amazing trait. If we find a meteorite, it will now make our basic attack deal fire damage. But since it also procs polluted Aether, our basic attack is doing fire and earth damage when it procs, which is nuts. It then could get proliferate, which will always trigger since we're always poisoning the enemy from our basic attacks. Fatal Upkeep will increase the damage on the poison and the burn if Cherufe puts it on. And as you could see, Aether is pretty tight, so alleviating that issue for our team and having a good pivot is the ideal role for Tazzleworm. Plus it joins us late, so it's always going to be behind on XP. So that's why your ideal action, like I was saying before we ran through this, we were looking for Shock on Cherufe with critical hybridization as the second best and sleight of hands being the third. Unfortunately, we got the third best, but as you can see, it's doing pretty good. The reason we wanted Shock is if you use Grapple, normally if you look at the speedrun that I did on the channel, you use Grapple a lot. And Grapple, it interrupts the enemy's action, which would proc Shock, which is another 6 damage. So Grapple is 6 and Shock is 6. So that's a good combination right there. And it's only 1 Aether you're using. This frees up your Fire Aether, which you would normally use Ignite, which does 9 damage. And if the enemy's using an action... Oh, wait. Oh, Fatal Upkeep. There we go. Okay, looking good. Where was I at? Oh yeah, if you're using Ignite, that's 3 times 3, right? So that's 9 damage. And if they're using an action, you would get the burn damage, which is 2. So at maximum, without factoring crits, Ignite is dealing 11 damage, while Grapple with Shock is dealing 12. This frees up the Fire Aether. Oh, we found the meteorite! Oh my god, yo! Alright, we are getting the run. Not in the ideal order, but, you know, I think just for making this video so you guys could see, it's looking pretty good. But yeah, this frees up the Fire Aether, like I was saying, so Tazzleworm could use Fire Claws. And this is only 8 damage, but if you crit any of these, it puts a poison, which is an extra damage. And if you get Sleight of Hands on Tazzleworm, since Fire Claws is 4 hits, the 3rd hit minimum will always crit. Not accounting for the 1st, 2nd, and 4th hit. So, if you have Sleight of Hands on Tazzleworm, that's dealing 11 damage because it's +2 on crit and factoring the poison. So, Tazzleworm's Fire Claws is dealing 11, and it doesn't need the enemy to attack, while Cherufe's Ignite does, and you're getting the more powerful Grapple, canceling their actions, and the Shock. Hopefully that made sense. I know I stopped myself a bit because I was commenting on what we were getting here. But yeah. That's why you want Shock in the start. And we're going to be interrupting a way more later on. Alright, here it is. Can we get Lightning Chaos? Alright, well, good thing we have some rerolls. Okay. Oh! Oh, yes! Okay, what do we get here? Oh my god, and we got Temporal Boreal. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Alright, I think we got the run. We got Sleight of Hands and Lightning Chaos. We have Temporal Borealis, and our trait's not the best. Ideally, at this point, we would have rather taken Critical Hybridization or Hunts. Also, doing it on Heroic does not guarantee the Aether Pool to be on 1-2. As you can see, we're entering 1-3, and now we're getting the Aether Pool. We're looking for Wind here because we want to get our levels up as quick as possible so we could defeat the fights quicker. And we don't! Yikes. Alright, we'll just take the gold to maybe fund for a level or two. But yeah, ideally there you would want Wind. Like on a really good run, you could have 2, maybe 3 of your characters going into the Warden fight at level 4. Now, when you play this casually, normally you only hit level 4 after beating Warden. So you could see, like, there's a lot of RNG that comes down to the speedrun on getting an optimal time. And it's getting lucky by getting the wind, getting those wind procs after the fight. But, yeah, I mean, that's what comes down to when you're going for number 1 in the world. But, as you can see, this video, we're just taking... Oh, here's Grapple. Oh, wait, no, we don't have Shock, so I can't even show what I'm talking about. But, yeah, just for a casual showcase of why this team worked, even though it's full offensive. And most players that would casually start this game would not dream... or would not fathom this team working. Because I seen the feedback. They complain the Tazzleworm's too squishy. They say Wolpentinger's bad. And I'm like, that's not true. You just need to play the game a little more, you know? So most players, when they look at this team, they're like, there's no way this would work. Mind you, I'm doing this on Heroic, which is even harder than the normal run that the speedrun was on. We are still going to fight everything, just to keep it as authentic as possible. But, I do have the worthiness bonuses. Funny enough, Cherufe's worthy 2 and 3 is kinda useless. It's HP plus 5 and defense, so I guess it could take some hits, but it's not helping us finish the fight quicker because it's nothing offensive. While Tazzleworm is poison damage plus 1, which is nice. That actually works with Fatal Upkeep to deal even more damage. And then it has hit plus 1, which is insane. If you guys saw our world first solo run, you saw how much I relied on hit plus 1. So the fact that it comes with a free one, oh, chef's kiss. Wolpentinger, I believe it gets evasion 15%, so same ballpark with Cherufe. It's defensive, but the level 3 is damage plus 1, which is very good because it works on its bubble trick, which is normally 2-2, and now goes to 2-3. It works on its sidekick, making it from 4 to 5, and since we're always critting, that just brings it up its value even more. But enough about that. Where were we in this run? Because I was yapping. Sorry, I was just kind of like on autopilot. Oh yeah, we're going to do a Lightning Chaos right here. Look how powerful this thing is. Look at all those crits, those 17s. Oh, man. Now, if those were shocks, because we were breaking the enemy, that would have been 6 damage on top of those 17s. That would have been very spicy, and if not, just straight out kill them. So yeah, we came to the conclusion... Oh! I mean, hey! Jewel Cutter is pretty good. If we could get Sleight of Hands on Tazzleworm, that's a pretty decent one. But, like I said, Tazzleworm does not rely on its actions in this speedrun sense. It's just going to basic attack most of the time for us. But Jewel Cutter is pretty good, especially with Sleight of Hands, because the third hit is always a critical, and it gets more crit damage on a crit. So Sleight of Hands is 2. I believe Jewel Cutter, was that 4? I think it was 4. So you're getting 6 extra crit damage on top of the 50% increase, which is crazy. Like, if you could crit all of them, I think it's like 14 at piece. So that's 14 times 4. What's that? For 56? I think it's 56. But yeah, a Jewel Cutter goes nuts. Especially because, as of the recording of this video, in case anyone's watching this in the future, Starspawn always starts out with its weakness being earth and wind, and Jewel Cutter just slices through it. Not only because it hits both weaknesses of the poise, but if you get a crit, you're taking away 2 poise on it, so it's really nice. Alright, so we're doing pretty good, smooth sailing. I don't feel like I need to say too much, because you're technically, well, I guess I didn't cover that, did I? And we have a choice of a witch. I would like to change the sleight of hands. Helping Winds is probably the weakest. We have Temporal Borealis. And we got Fatal Upkeep. So, actually, yeah, we're just going to go for an epic. I don't really need to reset. Sleight of hands, like I said, it's not the best. But now that we're at that stage of the game where we're trying to get Sleight of Hands to always crit on AoE, because Biome 2 is very chunky. Ooh, free XP? Hey! We're gonna get a free sidekick every time we do 2 Lightning Chaos, like I said. And yeah, now our crits... Now our sidekicks always crit. That's pretty good value. We'll take that. But Sleight of Hands would have been, would it have been okay there? No, we have nothing that we're hitting for 3. Especially in this fight. So now you'll see a tech that first place Polo used that I completely, I don't know what I was thinking. I just missed it. But he used Temporal Borealis to refresh Tazzleworm so it could rack up a bunch of poison on the boss and kill it faster than anyone else. I don't know why at the time we didn't think of that, but that was the first place winning strategy. So we're gonna get some burn on here because we have Fatal Upkeep and we're trying to do some damage. I don't have enough for Borealis, unfortunately, but we're gonna try to get some Toxic Slash in here, get some more poison. Gonna actually heal up because it's targeting me and I don't want to die. Ooh, look at that juicy 18 crit. Nice. Alright, if it targets the bottom, I need to heal Tazzleworm because it's going to get hit next. Oh, we do have Temporal. But I don't have the Aether, so we're going to do a basic attack here. Get ourselves some Aether. Then we're going to Temporal myself again so I could do another hit. But yeah, if we had Polluted Aether right here, oh my god, it would have been a wrap. Like, I'm pretty sure it was dead. Actually, I guess if this was normal mode, the enemy would have died by now. Yeah, I think it has 217 HP at this point. And yeah, it would have died literally right now. It was dead because of the dot ticks. But since this is heroic, it stays alive for another round. 1, because we didn't get the god roll of Polluted Aether. But 2, I'm actually curious, would we have gotten the kill if those rounds all had Polluted Aether instead? Because it would have made us, instead of doing Poison Slash, we would have did basic hits, which would have allowed me to do better actions with my Cherufe and Woolpintinger, in a sense. I'm not sure. Alright, this is a tough one because it has the Retaliate, and I don't want to die. Let's see if I could get a crit here, lower that poise. Alright, so we got rid of the weakness on us because that was going to hold back our damage. Now we could actually Temporal, and we're definitely going to break its poise, so I don't have to worry about the Retaliate anymore. Alright, and that should be a dead Warden. Yep, nice. Whew. That one got a little close. But this is the power of the speedrun team. And we get... Oh! Ho, ho, ho! Let's go! It wasn't shock, but since we're always critting, critical hybridization is pretty nice. Alright, get the pot, because we missed that on my last casual run. We're not doing that here. Let's see, what do we get? No. There is an orb. I guess if it rolls something decent on it, maybe? No. I like the temporary power we have every end of the turn, and we have a 33% chance to get an Aether. And the way on action works is if I do a sidekick, that counts as an action, and the bubble trick doing that. So I have 2 chances to proc the 33. That's why it was so powerful on our last run where we did a solo clear of the game, on Heroic, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Alright, so we're looking to upgrade our equipment here. Ooh, yes! We get the upgrade? Yo, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Alright, what are we doing? It looks like the banner is probably the best, because the other two just kind of have okay items. They don't have, like, a God's here. Ooh, do we take the crit chance? Or we take the poison hit? I mean, we're already applying poison, and we're aiming for polluted Aether, so getting a chance just for 1 poison doesn't seem worth it. Whereas if I crit, I get the poison anyway, right? And yeah, upgrading the banner should affect all allies, because its base effect is now 5% to 7%. So yeah, I think that was the right choice. Alright, I got a question for you guys. How many of you interact with this red pool down here, like this fountain of blood? It curses your equipment, but also gives it a rare affix. I can't think of one rare affix that is bad, so all of the rare affix are good. It's just the downside of it is so bad that you don't want it. Alright, let's see what we get here. So this is like the worst pact when you were speedrunning. Getting a Gargoyle and double Domovoy is like the worst. Because as you can see, they were shielding, and both of these guys are trying to heal. So this isn't the best example of this combo doing well. But as you can see, I mean, that was pretty good damage. And we did break 2 of them. Ideally, you always want to break the enemy if you can before doing Lightning Chaos. So Lightning Chaos gets the bonus of the 50% damage increase. Alright, let's see what happens now. See? Yeah, since we don't have the shock, and since we're getting some interrupts by breaking them and killing them, it would have procced shock again, but yeah. Unfortunate. Because the downside of critical... Oh, wait. We're always critting, so the Sleight of Hands plus 2 crit damage is actually really good right here. So we're going to take that instead. Oh! Oh, polluted Aether, guys. Oh my god. We got Sleight of Hands like I was talking about earlier, but nah. Polluted Aether. Oh my god. That's huge. Okay, dang, I lost my train of thought. What was I on? I just couldn't help but be relieved that we got polluted Aether there. Oh, right. The downside of critical hybridization. So critical hybridization can only activate once on action, whereas if you look at shock, shock doesn't have that limitation. Shock can reoccur multiple times as long as there's interruption. And the game considers breaking poise interruption if you steal Aether and it cancels an action, so the enemy has to basic attack as an interruption. And Lightning Chaos does purge 1 Aether when it does that, so that is a form of interruption. And of course, just killing the enemy is an interruption. So as you can see, when we're breaking the enemy and then they lose the poise, instead of hybridization only activating once, shock would have activated twice there. Because we're breaking 2 enemies, and we're breaking their poison, staggering their action. So that's why shock is just better all around. It's more damage, It's 6 versus 3, and it doesn't have a limited activation. Also, the funny thing is, Shock is fire and wind element, which is most of the enemies you fight in this biome. Oh, there it is! Okay, we have Exodia! We didn't draw Exodia in the right order, in the most optimal order, but we drew Exodia! Oh my god, guys. Well, I guess now it depends on the packs. Because that was another thing. So, as you guys saw, you have to get 5 specific actions in the right levels. Fire or wind? I think wind, right? Yeah, because we're already doing the basic attack to generate the fire. But what was it called? So yeah, on level 2, you're looking for shock. That's the best one. Level 3, you need lightning chaos. Level 4, you're looking for sleight of hands, because at that point you're transitioning from Warden to Biome 2, which is heavy with thick enemies, and you need the AoE damage to kill them. And then level 5, you're looking for critical hybridization afterwards. You need those in the specific order to have the most damage at each point in the game, so you could clear as fast as possible and save time. Now, we didn't get it in the right order, and that's the first part. The second part is what's happening to me, where we've gotten multiple gargoyle encounters, and as you can see, the gargoyle slows us down not only because it's a water element, but it shields its allies, making them healthier, taking longer for me to kill. So on top of assembling Exodia and drawing it in the right order, you also need to hope RNG gives you the right enemy packs so you could mow down them pretty quick. Like, ideally, we're looking for Nosferatu, Shambler, Domovoy, or Orthros, yes? Some of you might remember, Orthros does spawn in the zone, and they're super squishy, and Lightning Chaos, which melt them like a hot knife through butter. Oh, there's one, actually! This is a good pack. Maybe we get lucky and I could show you how insane this is. But I do believe we've been winning most fights on round 2. It's just not as flashy as I remember when I was doing the speedrun. Because most of the enemies would be like on 20 or lower HP, and they would all be staggered, so they're not even doing anything. So it skips their turn. Oh, you see what I'm talking about? Look how many times Shock just activated right there. But yeah, the enemies wouldn't even be doing anything. And then your next turn comes around, and you would build up whatever Aether you're missing, and you would just do another Lightning Chaos and kill the enemy. Kind of like this turn, actually. It was a little slow, because, you know, I had to think and stuff, since I'm out of that speedrun mindset. But this is what it looks like. None of the enemies did anything the other turn, and now you just clean them up, and bada bing, bada boom. So those are the encounters you're looking for. Enemies weak to fire and wind that you could take advantage of, and you just go in and out. Hopefully that was pretty cool, though. It's very satisfying when it does work. Alright, so I'm just looking for some gold at this point. Trying to ideally hit level 6. And we're hoping to get a DPS action on Cherufe to help speed Star Spawn. Like, if we were speedrunning. You see, like, this is bad. Like, we got another... Wait, is this our first Mephisto? I feel like it was our second one. Oh, it's because we got 2 gargoyles, and they're equally as slow as a Mephisto. So, thankfully, Polluted Aether does count as earth damage, so it helps us break it a little easier. But, yeah, look at this. We have Earth Element, and then we have the 2 chefs healing. It's just not ideal. The better encounters are Shamblers and Nosferatu. Or Nosferatu... Or is it Orthros, Wolpentinger, and something else? Like, even Wolpentinger can come in here, but since Wolpentinger has such low HP pool, you could just kill it with raw damage. You don't even need to break its poise. But yeah. This is the ideal Cherufe. Shock, Lightning Chaos, Sleight of Hands, Critical Hybridization, and since you have Critical Hybridization, Shock, and Sleight of Hands, your ideal DPS action after that would be either Jewel Cutter or Chain Lightning, because they both benefit from getting crits. Now for Wolpensinger, I don't think we ever figured out what was the optimal order, but since Wolpensinger attacks so much, and if you just slap a lance on it, it makes all your attacks into AoE. Actually, this increases my Lightning Chaos. No, it doesn't. I thought that said fire damage. No, it's basic attacks generate a fire. But yeah, Wolpensinger is either critical hybridization, because your Bubble Trick is the first one, and then the hit from Bubble Trick has a chance to crit. And if either of those crit, it helps you out. And if you have a Lance, it increases critical hybridization's damage. I'm just showing you guys what we got. There's nothing that I want to re-roll. But then again, I don't really need gems or an artifact, so I think we'll just go for the free XP. This is the first. I don't think we've ever went to the Witch, because the other two rooms were equally bad. Or not ideal. Yeah, you see, like, I don't want to re-roll my traits, so yeah, just give me the XP. Oh! And... oh, there's Hunt. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a Hunt. Toxic Earth is decent. But making sure that I get these crits is also equally as powerful. So yeah, Wolpensinger, I believe critical hybridization is the best one you want to look for first. Or if you don't see that, Hunt that just happened would be good. Side crits, so your Bubble Trick sidekick always crits. Level 3, you want Temporal Borealis. There's nothing, no ifs, ands, or buts, unless you want your Wolpensinger to be the Lightning Chaos carry. But Wolpensinger is the only one that gets Temporal Borealis, which gives your ally another turn, which is invaluable. In a turn-based game where there's not that much to do that, besides Temporal Borealis and the Rod of Command, the newly used haste trait that was always in the game, but most people didn't use it because the only dodge user was Nosferatu. Now Cockatrice is getting more use. People are seeing haste. Haste is pretty good, but haste, you have to work up towards that. Temporal Borealis, you just press the button and you get another turn. You know what I mean? It's like Rod of Command. You don't have to do much to get that extra turn. So that's why I believe Cherufe is the best Lightning Chaos carry. Wolpensinger is there to support the group, and Tazelworm is there to support the group by building up Aether for the team while dishing out considerably good damage with his basic attacks, thanks to Polluted Aether. But yeah, so critical hybridization, Hunt, or side crits for level 2 Wolpensinger, Temporal Borealis. And then, if you got critical hybridization, you want side crits afterwards, or the opposite, right? For level 4. Level 5, I guess Hunt, one of the 3 that you didn't get. And then level 6, it doesn't matter, because you're just going to be Temporal Borealising Tazelworm, so it does the most damage to Star Spawn. And then for Tazelworm, the ideal order is Polluted Aether you're looking for. Level 3 doesn't matter because you're not using your action. Level 4, you would want Fatal Upkeep, Proliferate, or Critical Hybridization. Actually, even Sleight of Hands works. Or, what's the other one? Toxic Assault. Every 4 times you crit, it adds 2 poison to the enemy and then just triggers the poison right away. So Tazelworm has amazing options, and it never has to tap into its action. So yeah, Polluted Aether is probably the best one you want to see at level 2 though, because it just helps it out. Especially if you got the Meteorite, which makes the basic attack into fire elements to help break poise as well as deal good damage without using up your fire Aether that your Cherufe is looking to use with Lightning Chaos. So yeah. That is what I believe is the best, and I think most of us that speedran that got top 5 also are in the same boat. But I can't speak for them. But I did talk to a few of them when we were speedrunning, and we seem to be on the same boat with that. So yeah, like right here, I don't really care, because we're just going to be doing Temporal Borealis. Ball of Lightning does have, on interrupt, deal 3 damage to all enemies, and that is pretty weak on its own. But since we know from Shock that this could activate multiple times in a turn, I did have runs where I didn't get Lightning Chaos, and I just winged it with Ball of Lightning, and it actually ended up doing really well. Because it get the interrupt. I think I had a lance, so all those first hits were counting as wild damage, which helped break the enemy and interrupt them. So it just popped off like crazy. Ooh, this is actually pretty decent. That's pretty good boots, actually. Burn hit and poison 25%? But what do I take off? I mean, the banner benefits all of us. Poison, wild generator, earth damage. Ooh, that's a really nice orb, too. Yeah. We had a mid-item. Ah, there it is! Jewel Cutter. Since we have Sleight of Hands, critical hybridization, and if we interrupt, I also activate Shock. So yeah, we actually got the Exodia Cherufe, just not in the ideal order, unfortunately. But there it is. That is what a God Cherufe looks like for speedrunning. There's obviously multiple ways to build Cherufe, but if you're speedrunning, this is what it would have looked like. Wow, that was actually insane. I think this only took me 7 attempts to record, so that's pretty dope. Alright, so we're gonna pop a horn, get some power going, since we're gonna be attacking like crazy with our Tatzelworm. As you can see, we got 8 poison right away, but we didn't generate a water, so no Temporal Borealis, unfortunately. Let's see Jewel Cutter. Oh, there's 1 crit, 2 crit, 3... Oh my god, look at that! Woo! We did almost 80 damage on the first turn. If we had Temporal Borealis, that would have been close to 100, maybe 120. Because the poison would have ramped up. And, okay, we did generate 1 with the basic. Alright. We are getting hit for Lava and Icy Assault. Let's see how much damage we can... Oh my god! Did we just crit everything? Oh, nice! Oh, right, because it does have 18 stacks now. How much did it have before? I guess since we crit 4 times, it had 14. Yeah, like, oh my god, look at that crit machine, boys! Alright, wait, I think I should use, yeah, I gotta use the shield first. Don't want anyone dying here. And let's cancel that. Oh my god! Look at that, 50 hit, even though it only had 28 poison stacks. I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on Fatal Upkeep. It's just so good. Oh. And yeah, we only have 1 burn stack, and it's still adding up to that damage. But I believe this is it. It should die here. Ooh, no, we didn't get a water. Crap. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. No, this isn't gonna do much. Let's just shield and see what happens. Yeah, it's not dead here. It's only at 39. 39 tick is like, what, 50? No, 44. 51 with the burn. Alright, close enough. Ooh, that banner saving my Wolpentigger's life. And no, I do not have the res on this account. I try to keep it as close to the speedrun as possible. But we're going to end it off with Lightning Chaos, because that was what this was supposed to showcase. I know we didn't get any crazy one round kill, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to check out our last video where we cleared the game on Heroic solo. and got world first. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, I'll see ya.